and welcome to Branding Wheel of Fortune. My name is Julia Masalska, like so. Come and follow me on Instagram and join our future suggestions where you decide what I put on the Wheel of Fortune, and then we're going to turn it, and I'm going to be working and improvising for 1 hour to create a branding for whatever you suggest. So exciting. Thanks everybody for joining, and let me know in the chat where you all are tuning in from. Let me know how your week was. My week was definitely quite interesting. I had a couple mental breakdowns in between, but otherwise I'm doing great, and I'm feeling great that it's Friday and I can relax and do some courses on the weekend. Let me know what you all are doing on the weekend. Hi Anna B, good to see you. All right, let's get started. We only have 1 hour and I'm going to jump right into this and turn the Wheel of Fortune. First of all, let's quickly take a look at what we have today on our wheel. So we have a coffee bar, we have a stationery brand, we have an olive oil brand, very specific from Italy. And then we have a surfing school, we have a nail polish brand, then we have a wine brand, we have jewelry, we have organic bath bombs, really cool, very interesting concept. Then we have a clothing brand, and we have high-end coffee brand, and we have a food truck, and we have a camping brand. So really amazing. We have 12 suggestions. Hi Kadu, hi Ridhi, good to see you. Hi. Kadu is saying I'm Brazilian living in Bournemouth. Oh, cool. That's awesome. All right, so let's do it. I'm really excited to see what we are going to be working on today. And as I said, I'm going to be improvising, so I did not prepare any of the stuff for any of these brands. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay. We're going to be working on wine! Yay! I think wine branding is a really popular topic these days, and I'm really excited to jump right into this. It's not specialized what type of wine it is, so feel free to suggest in the chat what kind of wine it is, or maybe you have an idea for a cool concept for a wine brand. But otherwise, let's jump into my work screen and let's get started. Cool. All right, so for all of you who are new to Illustrator, I'm going to be jumping in and I'm going to be creating a new file. So when you download Illustrator, this is how you do it. You create a new file. And right now there are several settings at the top. We have, we can design for mobile, for web, for print. Print has the CMYK color presets, which means that it's already programmed for great colors when you're sending this job to a printer. So CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key. Key is black. Those are the 4 colors that regular digital printers are printing with. So that's why it's called CMYK color. And RGB is red, green, and blue. So when we're designing for web, we're designing for screens, and screens show color in a different way than the printer does, right? So the screens show the color in RGB, which is red, green, and blue. So you probably sometimes saw those little bars, when the little pixels have those little tiny bars that kind of create the color combination to appear on the screen. All right, my friends. So I'm going to click, I'm going to select the medium raster effect so that my quality is a little bit better than just regular. And I'm going to create the new file. And as I have my Illustrator set up, I think it's always important to have the properties panel open. And then I use the libraries a lot. So CC libraries basically allow you to, to store files and to access them, not files, but more of brand assets. So that allows you to kind of access all of your projects. So let's see, I have my personal branding here. I have the projects that I'm currently working on. I have some of the past projects, and it's all here. So whenever I open a project, you can see that I can save my images, my colors, my typefaces, even character styles. So it's not only the typeface, it's the exact size and setting for the typeface that I've been using. And then we have some vector graphics that we can also save. And there's some random stuff that I have not categorized. But the cool thing is that you can also view it by type. So here are all the colors, character styles, graphics and images and so on. So those things really cool. You can access them in any software by Adobe. So if I jump into Photoshop now, I will be able to access the exact same things, and I'll be able to pull out the colors and the graphics right away. So I really love creating libraries. For those tiny projects, I usually don't do it because it's just, you know, I'm just going to be working on this for an hour, and after that I probably forget about it. But usually when I'm working with clients, that's what I do. And I work across multiple platforms. So I work in Illustrator, then I also work in Photoshop to create mockups, for example, or edit or retouch images. Then I work in Adobe Dimension, which is a 3D program where you can create 3D mockups, and you can create 3D objects or place 3D objects there, create a scenery and so on, and see how the design looks on a 3D object. So I love Dimension as well. And then what otherwise I use a lot of Adobe XD, where I create animations. And I also use InDesign if I'm creating books or magazines or brochures with multiple pages where I need a layout. Yeah. And I'm kind of like all over the place. For my videos, I also use Premiere Pro. So a lot of different things. On my mobile, I use Illustrator on the iPad, and also Adobe Capture, Photoshop, the XD preview, and so on. So just to give you a quick overlook about what I'm usually working in. All right, so let's jump right into this, and I'm going to open some of my, you know, to get some inspiration going here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to access my magic Google, and I'm going to pull in some images. Now I'm actually going to go to Pinterest. You can also collect some kind of inspiration from Behance if you like. Usually, you know, I go to Pinterest just because it's a very easy way to find a lot of images at once, and to get, you know, an idea about what's there on the market, and to get some inspiration there. So I'm going to look at wine labels. And meanwhile, let's take a look at the chat. We have Reedy, lots of love from India, lots of love back to India. I love India. Kado is saying wine matches with Friday. Yes, totally, I agree. And Usama is saying hello, it's Sam here. Hi, good to see you. Awesome. All right, so let me actually put myself quickly on the other side of the screen so that you can see me without me being covered by my made logo. All right, so we have some really cool stuff going on here. Wine labels. First of all, we need a brand name, my friends. So please send me brand names, and we're going to definitely, you know, experiment with whatever you suggest. So I'm excited about that. And I'm thinking maybe it's something like similar in this kind of way, where we have some, you know, overlays. And so I'm just, what I'm doing is I'm creating myself a mood board where I'm going to take a look at the concepts, and I'm going to see how I can implement some of that into my work. So let's see what else we have here. So once you click on an image on Pinterest, it will show you similar ones. So here we also have something very similar that has overlays, so I'm going to drop that into my file as well. I really love that color, so I think I'm gonna drop that one here as well. This is also very interesting, just working with shapes. Now I'm going to go and look for wine color palette. I just want to kind of achieve those warm red wine tones, but I also just want to get myself some inspiration about what is being used. That's not usually my process. My process is usually that I look a lot at the competition as well, and I do look that you know, the brand that I'm designing for stands out in terms of color. I don't want to design the exact same color palette that you know, that the competition is designing with. So look, I'm really loving this one as well. So I'm going to drop that one in here as well. Cool, let's take a look what you all are suggesting. Kyrgyzwal is saying hello from Indonesia. Hi. Brand name Porte, Tinto Bello, or Allegro. Okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. Allegro sounds interesting. Drop some more, my friends. Drop some more, please. Okay, so this one looks very natural, but you know what? I'm thinking kind of minimalistic packaging. You know, and I want to kind of go away from wine right now. I want to jump into brands that maybe, you know, be used by my target audience. And usually I have a pretty good idea when I start working with a client. They already have an idea of who is the target audience. Are they going to target the older audience with money, or are they going to target the younger audience? Are they going to target a specific target group, age group, and so on? Or what's the demographic just in general, to understand, you know? So that's the first thing that I do usually. And I think in this case I want to target a younger audience, and I want to create something very minimalistic, work a lot with color and maybe color blocking. So let's see what I can find here. I'm really loving this color here, and the way that the typeface is being used. So I'm just going to drop that here as well. And I'm also loving this color palette, so I'm gonna drop that in here as well. As you can see, that definitely does not have to do with you know, with wine at all. Let's say has some to do. I love gradients like that at this time as well, so I'm gonna, let's see if I can kind of implement some of that. All right, cool. And yeah, those gradients are really cool. So maybe I can show you guys also how to make those gradients. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make everything way smaller so I can kind of fit it into my mood board. So I have these two that have a very similar concept, and they are both very, you know, implementing a lot of gradient, a lot of color, and very soft tones. I love the way that the typography is being played with here, so I'm going to add those here as well. I love this color palette, so maybe we can use this color palette to create something similar. And as you can see, what I'm doing basically is I'm kind of taking different concepts, and I'm not trying to copy the design, but I'm more of looking at the concepts and the way the product is presented, because that will also play a role later on how I mock it up, right? So what type of mockups am I going to use for my brand, and what kind of lifestyle imagery, and how am I going to present the product to the target audience. So that's why I'm looking at that. I also love this way of kind of showing the product here. So let's see, my keyboard is still a little sticky from my last coffee spill. Some of you might know that I'm very famous for my coffee spilling techniques around my table. So I would just spill coffee randomly. And yeah, let me know what y'all are up to. I'm still drinking coffee, by the way. I've never learned of my mistakes, and I always put a huge cup of coffee on my table. Oh, Joteria, hi, good to see you. Californian wine could be, yeah, why not? It's a good idea. Brand places. Oh, I like that, because places, that already gives me a certain concept, right? So what if the concept of our wine will be, you know, has to do with different places where the wine is from. So it can be a wine from Italy, it can be a wine from California, it can be a wine from France, right? So how can we work with that? So let's try and implement that concept. I think it's a great concept. So all right, let's see what we have here. And you can see that I have a specific technique of putting together images and creating a layout. So what I usually do, I take 2 to 3 images, set them up on top of each other, and then I just match them to the canvas. And that kind of creates this, you know, this really cool roster, although I'm not very precise with it, and I can just take random images and put them together. That has been a really cool technique that I've kind of put myself together over the years. So definitely recommend. You can also just do like that whenever you have like a longer space. What I do is I just take the images and I kind of place them into the width that my artboard is, or that there is left. And you can also go and, you know, extend it and place it underneath the other artwork. That works as well. What you can also do is you can create masks. So you can take this image and you can mask it so it fits perfectly into the little frame that we have left. So what I'm doing, I'm just creating a rectangle on top. I'm pressing V V is the selection tool. Holding shift, I'm selecting the image and the rectangle on top, and on the right side in the properties panel it says make clipping mask, and whoop, and now my image fits into the mask that I have set with a rectangle. It can be any shape really. You can also create a round shape and set that as a mask. So I can create, let's say, a round shape, and then I can select the image and the mask on top, click make mask, and then it's all fitted into the round shape. So if you're new to Illustrator, that's definitely something to play with. Cool. For now, I want to have just a regular rectangle mask. And now let's jump into the logo, and I'm gonna look for typefaces. So I have kind of like a pretty cool, a very diverse kind of mood board. Of course, when I'm working with clients, I'm way more specific, and you know, I have more time to research. Now I've spent 15 minutes on research and kind of putting together the mood board, but I think this is a pretty good basis for us, and it leaves a lot of room for us to experiment. So what I'm going to experiment with a similar color palette like here, and I'm going to maybe create gradients like that. And I also love the golden kind of print here. I've been loving these abstract shapes and also overlay of print. So here we have a red print on top, or a black print on top of a red print, and you know, using color as a background for the label, I think is also a great idea. Here again we have this kind of patchwork overlays, and this color palette I think looks really modern, really interesting to me. So that's the reason why basically I have all of these things here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another board for myself. This is called an artboard, in case you're new to Illustrator. So we can either copy the artboard holding Option together with all the artwork, but I'm going to click Command and Z, and I'm going to deselect this little thing here where it says move artwork with artboard. So I'm going to deselect that, and now I'm just copying the artboard itself without anything that's placed on it. It's just, you know, a quick one for me to create a new artboard. You can also go to the artboard tool and kind of paint yourself a new artboard, but this is how I like to do it. All right, let's see what else is happening in the chat. Okay, so we have places as the name. Okay, Reedy, he's saying almost midnight here. I was about to sleep, but I saw your countdown, so I had to be here. Yay, cool, good to see you. Definitely going to be exciting. All right, Reedy is from India, and Kadu is asking, where are you talking from? I'm currently in Miami, Florida, in the United States. So here it's 1 p.m. and 18 minutes. And Madison is saying, I wish I could watch this at work today. How long are you streaming? I'm streaming this for about an hour. Hopefully I'm going to be done in 40 minutes. Otherwise, I might take another 30 minutes to kind of expand a little bit. Determine is saying, can you briefly tell about the brand once? Julia came in late, so I missed that. We don't have no brand yet. So all I know is I'm going to be designing a wine brand, and you guys have been suggesting some of the names in the chat. So I think Places is a great name for a wine, because you know, wine always depends on the place where it's made, right? We have Italian wines, we have Californian wines. So I'm just going to write places, and I think a really nice sans serif would be really cool for us. All right, let me move myself again a little bit to the side and make myself a little bit smaller so that you guys can see what I am doing. And also, I'm not looking away from my artboard, which looks probably a little bit weird. Okay, all right, cool. All right, places, and now let's take a look at typefaces. That rhymes. I usually, what I do is here in my properties panel. By the way, properties panel is magic. It's the key to working in Illustrator. And if you don't have it pop up here, what you can do is you can go to Window and activate it here, and then the properties panel will pop up here for you. So yeah, this is what I mostly use. I use the properties panel. It gives you a lot of options whenever you select a certain object or work with a certain tool. The properties panel will show you all the possibilities you can do with a specific tool, so it doesn't show you too much, right? I really like that. And then we have libraries here. As I said, I love working with libraries. I can just literally, you know, access all of the things that I've been working with in the past. I also have a really cool inspiration library where I have color palettes that I have collected for myself, so we can also take a look at that in a second. And then I'm also working here with color sometimes, not always, and also I work with layers, especially when I'm designing packaging. Usually you have a, you know, a layer for the artwork itself, then you have a layer for, you know, different technical information, and a layer for, let's say, varnishes. So let's say it's a gold print, you create a separate layer in a file, in an Illustrator file, to make sure that the printer understands where the gold foil goes or where the spot gloss goes. So this is what that's for, but usually I am here in my properties panel. All right, so let's take a look at typefaces. And here what I want to do is I want to filter. So here we have the filter for sans serif, serif typefaces, slab serif, script, decorative, hand, monospaced, black letter, and so on. But I'm gonna go for sans serif, and let's see what fits here. Maybe something like that. Any set could work. Let me make this larger so you all can see it. And that could work. I think that could be a great typeface for our brand. But I'm not going to be satisfied with this. I want to experiment more, and I want to see what else we have. Acumen Pro, a great, amazing typeface. I use this so much, especially for packaging. It's so well legible, minimalistic, beautiful. Has a big family here. As you can see, we have a large family of different typefaces here in Acumen Pro. And I'm going to maybe do a semi-bold, and then I'm going to increase the tracking to 200. That's how I like to use my sensors. Oh yeah, I love that. Places, and that's really cool. I love that. I think that's awesome, but I'm still gonna experiment a little bit more, and I might even go into the decorative fonts. Let's see what we have here. Something maybe interesting. That one is great. Oh, integral. That looks like a sans serif. That is interesting. Okay. I'm not sure why this is decorative. Interesting. Alright, so this one, I really love it. I think that could be also a really good option for us. If you have any suggestions for the typefaces, let me know. Cool. Modena, sans regular. Oh yeah, that one's great too. But this is a sans serif. I'm not sure. The categorization, I guess, is not that great, so I have to be careful with that. But it's very similar to this one. As you can see, the C is pretty wide, and just in general, it's a pretty wide typeface, which I love. Okay, so we have this one, and in combination with that, I'm thinking, you know, if we're going minimalistic, why don't we just, you know, take the countries that we have the wines from, and then I'm going to make outlines of them, maybe, or like a shape, because we're talking about places, right? I'm kind of thinking of a map, maybe. So let's take a look what we can find. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google, my best friend. Google is my best friend while working. Google knows everything. If you want to know something, ask Google. Google knows everything. All right, so I'm going to put in map of Italy, PNG. Because if I can save time, why not save time? Okay, but we are going to keep it simple. And oh, maybe even, okay, I have an idea. I'm going to try stock.adobe.com, and maybe there are already SVGs, which means vector files of maps. I'm going to vectors, and by the way, stock has a really cool free section here so that you can get stuff for free, and they have vectors and everything. Okay, Italy map. Let's see what's there. That will save me a lot of time. Italy map. Ooh, look what we've got here. Okay, so we have the map of Italy, and this is what, oh, I have forgot to check, but always make sure to check. Okay, so we have Illustrator, EPS, and JPEG. That's perfect. All right, so I have licensed that already, or have I not? Okay, I'm going to license it. All right, so it's saved to a wrong. It's okay. That's fine. And so I have that, and let's check for the oh yeah, it's opening already automatically. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, I've saved so much time right now. Okay, we have Italy, the shoe of Italy. I always think that it looks like a shoe, right? So if you kind of turn it around, it looks like a leg with a shoe. That's really funny. Okay, and next we are going to take a look at map California. Please, 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 please be there. Ooh, okay, we have California. That's great. Okay, so the same thing is happening here. I'm going to license, and we can play with those shapes and create something cool with them on the wine label, because why not? Because we can, because we can. All right, okay, I wish, Can you briefly tell about, okay, all right, Talawa as a brand name. I use Acumen a lot for body copy. It works so well. Yes, Deutermia, definitely. It's such a great typeface. It works so well. For now, I'm going to make this one black. Oh, and we have our California already popping up here. Perfect. We've got California, we've got Italy, and I'm going to make those the same color for now. Ooh, that's going to be so cool, guys. I'm excited. All right, and now we're going to look for, let's say, France. Map France, and maybe Australia. Australia also has great wines. Yay, look, this is perfect. They have all of that here. I'm saving so much time right now. I'm literally saving so much time right now. Okay, license. All right, cool. So that should pop up here as well. I'm going to close those for now. I don't need them anymore because I have them copy and pasted into my file already. So cool. Now, meanwhile, that the other one opens. Oh yeah, it's already there. Cool. Okay. Command C for copy, Command V for paste, and we have France here as well. Yay! France in the house. Okay, so we have Italy, California, and France. And those are all vectors that we're going to be working with. So cool. All right, places. So what you all thinking about the typefaces? I'm thinking this one is really great. What I like to do is I like to zoom out. And once you zoom out, you can see, you know, the balance of a typeface. How satisfying does it look? Because really, you know, you can sit there and think a lot about it, but really it's the eye kind of has its own technique of finding things that it's attracted to. Don't ask me how that works. There's a lot of science behind this. There are specific proportions, there's specific, I don't know how that works, but our brain just knows what it likes, and it knows, you know, what's the best and most balanced visual. And I think that this typeface here, Integral CF, is a great typeface. A way to determine if a typeface is a great typeface for a brand is to see at the font family. Here we have a lot of variety. We have regular, medium, bold, extra bold, heavy, and so on. So it's a great typeface with a lot of variety. We can play with it a lot. It brings flexibility to our brand, which is perfect for me. So I'm going to go ahead and use this typeface. I'm going to eliminate all of these. And now, my friends, we have our logo, we have the shapes. Let's work with the colors, the exciting part. I'm also going in here and I see a little disbalance, I have to say, in the word itself. You know, some typefaces are really great in their balance, but some you have to kind of still fix a little bit with that. So what I like to do is I like to look at the logo itself, and I also like to look at it in reverse color. So I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to create a black background behind it so that I have most contrast there is, right? I'm going to place this one, arrange send to back. And now I can see, you know, where are the disbalances here. And I can see while here the spacing between the P and the L, the A and the C, and so on is really balanced. Here we have a lot of space between the L and the A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, I'm going to outline Command Shift and O. And now I have vectors that I'm working with. Double clicking, I'm getting into the group. Holding Shift, I'm selecting two objects, and I'm going to place the P and the L a little bit closer to the A because I feel like there is a lot of distance between those two letters, and that will make it way more balanced now. I can even, you know, I can even create some cool work here with the logo. I can go in here in my vector and I can connect the L and the A if I want to, if that makes sense. You know, I can create something really cool like that. Places, but I want to keep it simple in this case. I don't want it to be too gimmicky. I want it to be minimalistic, nice and clean. So I'm going to remove that and use that as my logo now because I have adjusted the typeface, right? I have adjusted the spacing here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with my colors. And the best way to find colors is, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy paste this, and I'm going to select the background, click I for eyedropper, and I'm going to see how those colors will work for me. So that could be a color, an interesting color. That could be an interesting color. Let's take a look actually at my inspiration libraries. So I was telling you earlier that I have this inspiration library. How do I get this inspiration library with tons of different colors, different things? What I do is I use my phone. So I take my phone and I have the Adobe Capture app on it, which means I can go and capture colors from anywhere where I'm at. I can even take a screenshot and use that and create myself a color palette, save it to my inspirations library, and that's how I'm growing this inspirations library. So here I have some really cool color palettes already that I can access, and I might, you know, just try out some of these colors. Here I like this red, for example. I think it looks great. Let's take another example. Maybe I'm also, you know, while working on the branding, I'm keeping in mind who I'm creating for and what do I want to achieve with the color, right? And I want the color to be interesting. I want it to be attractive to my audience, right? So I want it to be a little bit more colorful, to be honest. I think, you know, we can go a little bit more into the color of things. Maybe like a nice red could work. Let's see what else we can get here. Okay, now I have everything selected. A nice light blue could work. Why not? You know, we can experiment here, and we can at this stage we're not, you know, we don't have any commitments. We're not committed to anything yet, so we can just explore and see how that looks like. And I'm not even scared to kind of go underneath these vectors here, because in the end that will all come together, right? So the color here, how the blue meets this this color here, and I'm not scared about that, you know. I don't want to be too precise right now. I want to just experiment and leave myself the room for you know, to explore what I can do. I think the green is also great. This color, let's create something else here. Maybe I'm looking for lighter colors that I can use. Okay, green like that. I have a green like that, and I have this orange. Orange looks great too. And now that I'm looking kind of back to this color palette, I can see that some of the colors that I had in my inspiration library are very similar to what we see here. So we have this orange, we have the light blue here, we have this darker green. So I think those look great already. Okay, so why don't we just choose those three colors, the green, the orange, and this light blue. I think the red is kind of very very dominant and it's kind of biting my eye. So I want to select this green, this orange, and this light blue. So the rest I'm just going to remove it. Oh, and I really love this color also, kind of like highlight color. So maybe we can work with this for the typeface for our logo. Let's see how that works on top of each other. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Okay, so let's eliminate all of these other ones for now, and let's take that. And that already kind of is a mood, right? It's a mood. We can zoom in here and we can see, yeah, it kind of has this vibe of traveling and seeing things and all that. So let's take a look how we can improve this color here for it to be better legible with the color of the typeface here. I mean, we don't have to stick to that precisely, but I'm thinking it would be great if we can find, you know, a color palette that works with this you know, with this kind of golden looking color on top. So I'm going to just copy and paste these again, and I'm going to play around, and I'm going to try and find lighter colors, lighter tones for that specific color. Maybe something like that. And again, I'm going to place that on top, place the place on top. And I think this could be a great color combination here as well. Look how nice it looks with the black and with this peachy color. And also it matches, if we put it down here, it kind of matches the tones down here. It's all very soft and light, while the places is a little bit darker. Let's try and make this just a little bit lighter so that we can get a little bit more contrast in. Yeah, that looks great. I think the green kind of works well too. It's a little dark. So let's see what else we can do with this. Maybe, oh, I have actually a great idea. What if we use that green for the countries? And then we kind of overlay that on top of our other colors. Right, so this could be our color here, but not used with the logo. Sorry, I'm just kind of talking. I'm just trying to share my process of thinking. And this is great. I really love this, my friends. So I think this could be something that I think we're on to something here. Yes, this is cool. All right, let's see. This could be Italy. Arrange, bring to front. Ooh, yeah, it's coming together. Look, this is coming together. And let's see if we can find a lighter version. Maybe let's see if we can experiment a little bit more. Maybe like a yellow. Oh, that could also be really cool. Arrange, bring to front. Yeah, that could be interesting. Look, we have a pretty cool color palette here already. And it's all very custom, right? So we just kind of started looking at that, but then we kind of created our own thing. I really love this green and gold though. I think that looks so cool. Maybe that gold can also be a part of the labels later on as well. Maybe in some way. This yellow looks a little cold to me, so I want to maybe, let's see if we can make it a little bit warmer. Yeah, that one is a nice and pastel-y. Oh, I love these colors still. Oh, I don't know, my friends, I don't know. This is great. This is also great. I really love that too. How would that look like if we keep the logo in a dark color? What if we make the logo really dark? No, I don't think it has the same vibe to it. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to really start designing the labels. So I'm going to, and then, you know, we can kind of get a little bit more clarification on the color palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new artboard that's kind of like a label. And we're going to put in that color background. And all right. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so let's start with Italy. Arrange, bring to front. We have Italy here, Italy in the house. Let me know in the chat if you are from Italy. That would be really interesting to know. Arrange, bring to front. And now, of course, we have a little contrast issue going on. Oh, this is nice. I'm kind of liking this. We have Italy here, places. It kind of looks a little boring right now, but let's see how we can kind of make it more interesting. Maybe something like that. My right mouse does not always work. Okay, this could be something interesting. This could be something cool to explore. I love how the places logo was overlaying the Italy. Oh no, this is not Italy, this is California. Sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this so far. Maybe I want to, you know, change the like that. Okay, that could be something. All right, so let's continue with the next one. We've got, I'm just gonna copy and paste that artboard, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to copy paste it literally, and you can also just use Command and C and Command Shift and V to place it in place, to paste it in place. Too many places here. All right, so now this is becoming this color, and now I'm going to place France on top. Arrange, bring to front. Oh yeah, this is nice. I love the French kind of outline, the France outline. Okay, yeah, this is cool. I'm loving this so far. Let me know what you all are thinking. All right, let's see. Cool. Jotimia. Okay. Jotimia is asking, would you usually recommend defining the brand values before the selection of typeface? Of course. This is not, see, the thing is, this is branding improvisation. So this is not, technically not a real branding process. It's just to improvise something. I really like that as an exercise to experiment with color, typefaces, and graphics, how we can combine things. And I think it's a really great exercise to kind of, for you to learn design. What I'm thinking though is that whenever you're designing for a real client, that means that you have to really understand the brand values, the strategy. What do they want to achieve with the brand, right? That's actually the question. And what do they want to achieve with the label in this case, which I would be designing? Let's say they'll come to me with a logo and tell me, hey Julia, you know what, we need a label for our brand. Or let's say they even come to me without having any branding yet. I have to understand what kind of clients are they usually interacting with. Do they want to keep on interacting with the same kind of clients, or do they want to attract a new audience? So that all determines the design decisions, right? So there I would look at the specific target audience that they want to attract, and I would look at the different products that the target audience is surrounded by, and I would take inspiration from that. I would think about their needs, about their values, about their life, just, what are they usually surrounded by, and design so that this product fits into their environment, right? So that's usually my approach kind of there. All right, let's see what else is there. Jotimia is saying the green and the maroon would probably look well for darker shades, and they can also work well with golden type. Yeah. RJS is saying, I love when you're excited. Yeah. Yeah, when I start designing and things start coming together, it's really exciting. Haru is saying, I'm half Brazilian, half Italian. My surname is from the south of Italy. Oh, that's cool. Shamari is saying, it's coming along well, Julia. Yay, thank you. All right, so let's continue. And I'm thinking of this, you know, this color being as a gold print. So that would be the, you know, the gold print that would give a nice texture. And let's see if we can find something that can help us show that it's a gold print. Maybe we can even, you know, look at it right now and we can find a good texture that we can use for a gold print. Gold print background. All right, let's see if there's something here. Okay, this could be interesting. I'm looking actually for something very similar like that, but even. So let's see. I also want to incorporate the paper texture. So, yeah, this is actually something that I'm looking for. Let's see. Golden pineapple shape. You know, this could actually already include that image in it. So I want to see if that golden kind of texture is included in the image. So I'm just gonna download it and see. All right. Yeah, golden texture is actually not that difficult to reproduce. I've seen it so many times. But let's see if the cool pineapple has it. Aha, okay, yeah, so there's a texture. See that? This is the texture here that we need. And it's a vectorized kind of form, so that's perfect for us. Command C, Command V. Look, this looks like gold foil. This is great. And I was kind of hoping for that, you know. And now what we can do is we can actually take that exact thing, and I'm going to use that rectangle that I have. Let me put that on the bottom, arrange center back, and I'm going to take this and my rectangle, so my rectangle and the gold foil, and I'm going to go here in properties, make clipping mask. And now I can kind of preview. What I can also do is I can make it even better, and I can create an overlay effect, which I can do with transparency. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I'm not sure if that is what I want. I'm just gonna go with normal for now. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go with normal for now. And I'm going to, let's see if we can decrease the opacity here, if that will help us. Yeah, kinda. Okay, so let's place that at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, we might as well just keep that as well. We could do that. We could keep this. I think that looks better. All right. You know, it's all a process, so we just have to keep on experimenting. And now that I took that away, this kind of looks really, really nice. And that can happen too, you know. Sometimes you accidentally place something differently, and then it looks interesting. Yeah, let's keep it simple for now. And all right. So we have this version, we have this version. Let's create the one for the third color combination. And I'm going to go again here, whoop, just copy and paste this. And I'm going to select the color of the third SKU. And what are y'all thinking? This way or this way with a little gold? Maybe, you know, maybe we just keep it simple. And I mean, why not? And we can go in and kind of create something like that here. Why not? We can experiment. We can do our own thing. And a little bit of France here. That's pretty cool. I kind of like this. Okay, this is interesting. And you know, it doesn't even matter that we symbolically kind of show the whole country. We don't have to do that. We can do whatever we want, literally. So I can do something like that, and here I'm going to do something like this, where I kind of put this off a little bit. Yeah, that could be cool. What are y'all thinking? All right, so I'm gonna make the clipping mask here again. There we go. Cool. I love how it's kind of overlaying that. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see what we can do with this. Arrange, bring to front. And maybe, you know, maybe this and this can be kind of cutting into each other. Let's finish this up first with this third one. So here I have Italy, my little shoe. Arrange, bring to front. And here again, I'm going to make Italy really big. Kind of like that. And the shoe makes it really recognizable. So I'm going to definitely place the shoe in here. Okay, so we have green, we have orange. Let's see what else we can do with Italy, because we don't want to repeat the green. See, it's all problem solving here. It's all problem solving. Maybe blue, maybe red. I think red could work well. Maybe like a darker red. Yeah, that could work well. All right, maybe, you know, maybe we can even play around with the different colors. Okay, so let's do that first. And again, I'm making a clipping mask so that you don't get scared. Okay, so I think this is cool. I want to play around with this color. I'm still not very satisfied with it. I need a very light shade of yellow, but I don't want it to be too cold. So I think this one is really cold. And now that we look at it, we will see that it's more on the green side, right? And what we want to do is we want to put the slider to make a color warmer. I want to put the slider a little bit down. And now I have this color, which is warmer, but it's not enough contrast for me. Okay. See, this is a problem solving here. All right. Maybe we can work with the brand name color, so the logo color. Yeah, I don't really like it. I liked it better in the beginning. Okay, so, all right, arrange, bring to front. All right, so now let's determine what kind of wines those are. What are these wines? Yeah, I still struggle with the contrast a little bit, you know? I feel like we need more contrast. So, what if we work on this a little bit? What if we work on that? And yeah. Yeah, that could be interesting. All right. Yeah, this is actually cool. Now let's take a look at the shoe. What else can the shoe be? What y'all thinking? I think this is better. I'm you know, I feel like we can read the places better. And yeah, I think that could actually work. And once places is in gold foil, it will be also sticking out more. Maybe in the center. That could be cool. Now, let's make sure that it all is cohesive. There's a lot happening here. There's a lot happening here. California, not so much happening. So I'm going to just push this up a little bit. And in the same way, let's also see that we are covering just about half of the surface, right? So we want to have this balance. Here we are looking at the blue and the green is kind of underpowering. And here we want to have the orange in the same way, a little bit underpowering, and the pink is already underpowering here anyways. Okay, so cool. Yeah, I'm kind of satisfied with this now. I'm thinking we can create some variations. So let's see how we can kind of swap the colors. Maybe it will make it better. So what if I make this color and this color? Oh, that's also kind of cool. I'm liking that. Yeah, that could work. Okay. Now, you know, I see now I see something that is also a problem, that this and this color are very similar to each other. So I'm gonna try and find like a lighter gray tone. Yeah, that could work. It has very little color over here. Okay, light gray. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, not so much. A nice mustard. Yeah, I'm still not very satisfied with that. Let's see what else we can do here. So, okay, that is interesting. That is interesting. This could work. Let's take a look at the orange again. This is that orange, right? Yeah, so I think our color palette is pretty much set now. Let's look at the orange again here. More poppy orange. Yeah, so I think that works way better. And as we can see, those are all like really light tones, and these colors are really bright, so that will work perfectly for us. So let's stick with this. And you know, I would play around with this for a while, and I would see, you know, what's the best thing to do. But right now we're kind of running out of time, so let's put this on the bottle and let's kind of sum this up. All right, so I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to create my color palette, which is my primary and secondary colors. And I'm just going to do it like that and copy paste like so. All right, and I'm using the eyedropper tool to take the color samples, and here we have the background colors. And we can reuse these colors in different ways, so we can repurpose them later on. And we have the pink. Actually, you know, I'm gonna put them next to each other. The orange with this color, and we have the green with the blue. All right, so we have our color palette set. Yay! Finally, this was a lot of, you know, and it's not easy when you have multiple SKUs. You want them to look cohesive, but you also, you know, you also want to have different color combinations. You don't want it to be too boring and too, you know, using the same colors all the time. So this is great. I think we did a quite a, you know, advance here. Now let's jump into the details. So what kind of wines are those, right? So here we have the California. I would say this could be a nice Cabernet Sauvignon. Oh, okay. And I'm going here into the typefaces. I'm going to make this way smaller. And I'm going to center align it so that I can place it onto my label in the middle. Like that. And let's see, we had some typefaces from earlier. Oh no, I deleted them. That's okay. So let's see if we can use a cool typeface here. Or we can also reuse the same typeface. That also works. We can also just take the typeface that we've been using for our logo, which was, where is it? Clear all, here, this is it, integral CF. And you know, an important thing is also when you're creating a branding, what you need is you need to find the typefaces that work in different situations. So we will need a header, we will need a subheader, and we will need a typeface that works for body copy. So body copy would be something where you're having a large text, and what you can do is here to test out a typeface, if that works for you, you can go and fill with placeholder text. And let's see if I have it programmed to caps. I think this typeface goes only in caps. So here maybe, interesting. All right, placeholder text. I'm not sure why it's all showing caps. Anyways, so what we can do is we can write something ourselves. So let's say Cabernet Sauvignon from California. All right, Cabernet Sauvignon from California. And I want to put it into Acumen. Oh, okay, so it works. And now fill with placeholder text, and it's just a lorem ipsum that doesn't make sense, but you know, that will help us understand how will this text work in the context of our brand. And right now I'm just placing it on top of this because this will give me some kind of color, and just, you know, we might as well just put a story behind the wine here as well. So maybe some kind of background knowledge that people can read, you know, and then we can put it as kind of like a pattern. I think that would not be a bad idea. But let's pick the right typeface here first. So maybe like a light or a regular, yeah, that could work. Okay, cool, that could work. And you know, for stuff like this, we could also use a cool, let's try out a nice, what's it called? A nice monotype here, mono-spaced typeface, which looks like, you know, the printing machines. Okay, yeah, career new, that could be interesting. What are y'all thinking about this idea of placing the text actually into the label? I think that might be a little bit overloading it. Yeah, but just a suggestion. I think this one looks better for our brand typeface. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take another copy of this artboard and I'm going to finalize the typefaces. So we have the logo, we have our body copy typeface, right? And we also need a subheader. So what is going to be our subheader? I'm thinking of a nice scripty typeface. Some cool scripty typeface. I think I know which one I want. And I'm going to try and find it here. Something nice and scripty. That gives it a personal touch, you know, like a handwritten typeface. Could give a really cool... Where is Modena? Modena, I think it's called Modena. Let's find it. Modena! Yes, this is it. Modena script. And here we can go off a little bit in the size. Cool, yeah, that could be a cool subheader for our brand. And we can write wines from different places. And that could be literally a brand, you know, something that defines the brand. Wines from different places, because why not? Got wines from different places. Wines from different places. Cool. And as you can see, this typeface is really cool. What it does is it kind of really looks like it's a script. So if we have two letters next to each other like that are the same, it positions them in a way that it looks like it's a custom, you know, like it's written by hand. So this is cool. I like this. Yay! We have it, my friends. We have it. We got it. Wines from different places. Wines from places. Yeah, I love experimenting, you know, just typing up some stuff and seeing how that works together. And I think this will work really, really well over here, right? So, what are you all thinking? And I think this is the typeface we can use for our wine descriptions. So this could be, let's say, Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon. And I'm gonna place it on the label, remove all that text. And look, our labels are coming together. Maybe a little smaller. so it kind of fits. Cabernet Sauvignon from Places. Maybe we can even just paste it on top of each other. That could be cool. That could be so cool. And I'm going to center align it just so I can just copy and paste it, and it will always work for the different SKUs. So I'm going to click Command and C again. Oh, let me fit it into the artboard. Command C, Command Shift and V. Oops. Command Shift and A. Okay, it's not an artboard. It's just a copy of a design. That's okay. And then this could be the French one could be Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir. They're very famous for their Pinot Noir and other wines, but France is just amazing in that sense. And Italy, of course, Pinot Grigio. Pinot Grigio. Pinot Grigio. And by the way, wines are usually describing the grape. So Pinot Grigio is a type of grape, and Pinot Noir is a type of grape. And Cabernet Sauvignon is also a type of grape. Very exciting. We're learning things, aren't we? Very cool. I love it. I love it. And what if we experiment with color here as well? What if? Yeah, I think the typeface is just really thin, so I would definitely go with black here, just so it's legible. This looks interesting. I'm thinking it's quite difficult to read, so I'm going to put it just a little bit, so it's still kind of interacting with the logo, but it's kind of on its own as well. It's like, hey, we're friends, but we're not, you know, that type of friends. Okay, this is cool. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And then you can also, you know, outline that and create some kind of cool interactions. So like removing this part so it looks like the one font goes into the other one. So it's coming together. Yay, exciting. Finally. Okay, so my friends, we have the color palette. We have our graphics, which is Italy, France, and let's put them actually, let's actually make it really nice and clean. Command and C, Command and V. We can, you know, kind of really clean, put them together. Command and C, Command and V. I can make a song about Command and C, Command and V. Command and C, Command and V. All right, France, Italy. I love how Italy is pink. I love that. This is also really cool. What if there is like a wine blend of different countries? That could be interesting. It's also a nice color combination altogether. And then, you know, keep in mind, if you're creating something like this for a wine company, keep in mind that you will have to create more SKUs in the future, probably. Let's say they come up with an Australian wine, and then you know, you have to create another label and create a new color palette. So make sure you have some space to experiment there, and that brand is really, the concept is extendable to different products. Cool. All right, so my friends, I think we're done with this. I have labels. I have created a wine. What are we missing on the label? I think we're missing something. I think still that we're missing something. I'm missing a little, you know, a little bit more. This is very modern. I'm missing something more classic. And I think like nice golden little frame around it would be nice. And I'm going to do that frame in the same color like my logo. right? So we have a little frame going on now. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We always want to make sure that the frame has a little bit of a distance to the end of the label because why? Because when the label is being cut, it might be the case that the cut is not very precise, and the more mass production you have, sometimes mistakes like that can happen, and then your frame will be cut off, and that will be too bad. That will be very, very sad. We don't want that to happen. So yeah, I think that gives like a final touch here. This little frame kind of gives it a little bit more of a framework. The frame does its work and gives a frame. Okay, this is cool. I'm satisfied with this. This is awesome. Awesome. Right, so we have the brand colors, the actual brand colors, which is this golden tone and the black, and maybe we have a third color, a very neutral color that can also be used, and maybe it's some kind of like a warm gray. Yeah, something like that. I think this works together with this golden tone. So yeah, now we have that. And I feel like I'm missing some little details here at the bottom. So let's say maybe like a stamp that says maybe organic, maybe like an organic wine. Let's look here in stock again. How is everybody doing in the chat? Cool. Most of us saying I love the script font so much. Yay, it's great. I got it from Creative Market if you want to get it. All right. Yeah, AI is so much fun, Akin, and good to see you. Okay. All right, Michael. Kadu saying, as an exercise, I will try to do the same places concept with coffees. Why not? Michael is saying, I had to quickly look at AI edit drop down to see what Control and B was. Some sort of stamp. Frame is a good idea. Control and B. I'm not sure about Control and B. Organic. Oh yeah, look what we have. Organic ingredients. Natural product. I love this type of badge thing, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to license that, and I'm going to place it somewhere, maybe at the bottom, somewhere on the left side probably. Yeah, somewhere on the left side probably. And for that, I'm going to move the shoe a little bit to the side so that I have some space for my organic logo. All right. I think it's cool that it's opening right away, I'm gonna grab this one. I think this one looks great. And as you can see, the designer here, was a little lazy and didn't join the shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join them real quick. So it's just one big shape, right? And now I'm going to Command C and Command V it into my design, and I'm going to group it because it was not grouped. Command and G, and that will give us a little cool touch. 100% organic, and I'm going to make it that color because why not make something match? And this makes it kind of look legit for me, and that will be this color. Why not make something branded, if you have the chance? Cool. Yeah, and I think it's a great packaging concept. It can be extendable. This color will always be more poppy than this background, so this organic stamp can always be adjusted, right? So we can kind of turn this a little bit to the side so it looks like a stamp. Usually I would just copy paste that one, but for purpose of time, what we can also do is we can make that stamp that golden brand color so it will always stick out, and then we can even put it on top of color here as well, which would also be great. But I'm just want to keep it a little bit more clean, and I think in this case I'm really going to do that. Yay, cool. And you can also use that for your coffee, the organic coffee. Okay, this is looking great. I'm also making sure that, you know, the distances here are matched, and we're a little bit over time, but I'm just having so much fun with this right now. So sorry guys that it takes so long, but I have nowhere to go. It's Friday. So what are your weekend plans? Let me know in the chat. What are you all up to? I am definitely going to watch some courses. I am currently watching a course on Domestika that is about creating mockups and how to create cool mockups for your projects. Yeah, and yeah, this is cool. I'm really loving this so far. Maybe, you know, we can mock it up and see how it looks on an actual bottle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here into stock again. I could also create a 3D model and jump into dimension. That would be great. That would be amazing. Let's take a look at wine. La 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 la. We might not be able to render it today, but you know, we tried. So they're white and red wines. What I'm going to do is thinking of, you know, red wine from Italy. I'm thinking of, oh my God, that one, Moscato, I think. Moscato can be, I think it's usually white. Italian red wines, come, if you have any suggestions. Chianti, oh my God, Chianti, yes. Look, I'm going to make it a Chianti. Chianti is an amazing wine and it's very typical for Italy. Okay, so we have a Cab, we have a Pinot, and we have a Chianti from different places, and they're all organic, 100% natural. We have the labels ready to go. Here we have a little, you know, once I've designed something like this is not the end product. To actually design a label that is printable, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to call it, let's say, Places. You know, naming your file is also really important. Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, and then label. And I'm going to copy paste this, Command and C for, you know, to create new files. And the size of this is going to be for print, first of all, because I want it to be put into CMYK. And here I'm going to select the width and the height of my label. And for that, I can just take a bottle and measure it, measure the size of my label that I need. And when creating packaging, what's important is to realize what can the customer, potential customer, see of that wine bottle when they take a look at the label. So you should not create a label that goes all around, because they will only see the front part. And that's the reason why usually wine bottles have a front part and a back part. The back part for all the text and information, and the front part to really attract you, right? The front part is the most important part of a wine bottle. And to be honest, I always look at the labels when buying wines. So let me know in the chat if you guys will buy our Places wine. Okay, so let's say my width would be something around, and I usually have a ruler laying around in my office, but I can't find it right now. It must be gone somewhere. I've been measuring something probably. But let's say about 4 inches wide and about 6 inches tall. okay? And we can see it's set to CMYK color, 300 points per inch, and we have something that looks like what we need already. I'm going to close all of these, all of my Adobe stock downloads, and I'm going to grab one of those, Command and C again. Important thing is, when you have a print file, what you need to do is you need to outline the text. In my work file, I can keep it open to create further SKUs. Let's say there is a new wine, I can just copy and paste this and adjust the name of the wine, right? That's totally fine. But here, I will have to outline this. So what I'm going to do, what I usually do is I go and select everything, click Command Shift and O. Another thing that I need to do is, so here we have this little line, and when I scale it down, when somebody opens it up, I need to have an outline of this object. Right now, it's a vector that has an outline. But what I want to do is I want to create an outline on the edges of this outline. Sounds weird, but makes sense, trust me. So I'm selecting this object, and right now when I'm going to outline the path, you will see what's going to happen. So right now the line is in the middle, right? That's basically the orientation for Illustrator to know the object. But now I can also just invert it and kind of make the fill go inside and not outline the outline. But what I want to do now is I want to make this a fill, right? I want to make that an object. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my line, object, path, outline, stroke, and now watch what's happening. Now I have the stroke outlined, so I have my vectors going all around my frame from one side and the other side, right? That is really important before you put files to print, because when somebody opens your file, they might not be able to do that, to see the width, because it's maybe not saved in the document and so on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust my artboard here, whoop, like that, and everything is outlined, everything is vectorized, ready to go. Here I'm also double checking again if everything is outlined and everything is vectorized. Cool. Now, another thing is, let's say I'm printing in gold foil. Oh, another thing that I forgot completely about the print. What we need is a little bleed area. The bleed area basically is an area that is going to be cut off, but it will give you precision here. So let's say you're printing till here, and then the production has to cut right here. It's very difficult to really hit the line, so you might get a white space there, or you might cut off some of your design. So what you want to do is you want to go into File, Document Setup, and here we're gonna add a bleed. Usually a bleed is 0.125 inches, or in centimeters it's 0.3 centimeters, so 3 millimeters, right? That's the regular case for the bleed, but I'm gonna stick to inches now. And now that I'm going to apply it, you will see this little red outline around my artboard, and that means that this is the bleed. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to select this blue background, and I'm going to extend it until the bleed. And the same thing I will have to do with my green graphic, because it will go above it, right? So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to take my mask and I'm going to extend it to the side and here, in case you have something at the bottom or on the sides. So basically, and I'm going to move that a little bit to the side just in case it gets cut off here. So this part will be all cut off. Let me actually just increase the size just a little bit, like so. Just so we don't have no problems here whatsoever, right? So now that we see this file, the cut is going to happen here, but we have some extra area that will give us, a safe space to make sure that our design comes out perfect. So this is what a print file would look like. And now let's say I want to put gold foil onto all the objects that are having this brownish color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer. So usually I have if it's packaging, we also have cutting lines because packaging has to be form cut and so on to the right shape. And we also have folding lines and all that stuff, so it will be another layer of technical information. But here what we're going to do is we're going to create a new layer. Wait, oh, okay. So the layer will be called gold foil, or it could be spot gloss, it could be any surface treatment that you want to do on your, or maybe like a spot color that you want to put on top of the print, right? That could be also the case. Gold foil. And so now what we're going to do is, so this is called artwork. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our artwork folder and we're going to copy these objects that are brown, right? So places, then the frame and the organic, and those will be printed in gold foil. So I'm going to click Command and C, and I'm going to go into my gold foil layer, and I'm going to click Command and V, and oops, and I'm going to click Command Shift and V and place them there. And I'm going to make them a completely different color. So let's say I'm going to make them like a bright pink. So now the printer knows the area that's pink is the area where they're putting the gold foil. Now, if I turn this off, I can see, oh, wait a second. I think I placed it in the wrong layer. Let's see. Okay, again, Command C, and I'm going into the gold foil, Command V. All right, so now you can also see that my objects are being outlined with a different color. So I'm going to do this hardcore pink here. All right, so now my printer knows this is where the gold foil goes. And now I can go and turn it off and I can see my actual design, right? Of course, you have to consider here we have overlays, and the gold foil is going to cover all of these spaces. If you don't want that, you need to make sure to cut out the objects that are overlaying it, and then just place the cutouts, basically gold foil design. But this is getting a little bit complicated, but this is basically what a regular print file would look like. And if it's a packaging design file, then you would have the cutting lines, the folding lines, so it will be a separate layer for the production. And then you can send this file out as a PDF, or I think most even take the Illustrator file, and then, you know, they kind of try to understand what you were doing here, and you can see it pretty clearly with gold foil and artwork. And the same thing you can also do for when you order business cards that have a treatment on them. What you do is you create 2 layers and you submit that file so that the printer knows, okay, this is where we're going to put that the foil. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. This is not something I have learned anywhere. I had to really learn it myself. And how I learned it was actually I got a file from a printer and it had all of that set up, and I had to just put the right things in the right places, right? So usually what happens is that the printers have their own files already done with the layers set up, so you just download their Illustrator file, place your designs into it, and send it back so that they can understand what you want to do. Cool, we have our print ready. Places, Cabernet Sauvignon label now. But what I want to do actually is, okay, we're at 1:30, but it's okay. I hope you guys don't mind. Let me know in the chat if you want to see more or if you want to kind of wrap up the session. Michael is saying also they may not have the font, so if it's an object, they don't need to worry. Exactly, yeah, exactly. So if they don't have the typeface, and they don't need the typeface, what do they need the typeface for, right? You just outline it for them, and that way you keep out all the different misunderstandings and whatever there is. But make sure to here in your work file to keep the original, just in case you want to create more SKUs, then you don't have to find the typeface again. You can really keep the same appeal, the same appearance of your typeface, the same size and everything. And here I even center aligned it, so even if I write something else, it will, it will appear in the same position, centered in the same way and so on. So this is my couple cents for you. And what else? And now let's take a look how our designs will look like in a 3D object. So I'm going to quit Photoshop right now so I can work in my Dimension. And Dimension is a really great program if you really want to make cool mockups. So I can recommend experimenting with that. And it looks very similar to Illustrator. I'm going to click create new, and here I already have a bunch of objects that I can use that are already ready to use for me. Let's see if I can find a wine bottle. I don't see a wine bottle here, unfortunately. But what I can also do is a really cool thing that I really have been loving to do is that I can take like a curved thing like that, it looks like a piece of paper, right? So now I have this kind of shape, and now I can go and place my design on this and kind of create a mock-up of a label that's like a printed label, you know, so that let me actually make that real quick. It's just a way to present your design later on Behance or wherever you want to present your designs. So what I'm going to do now is it's very, very easy, my friends, and I know it's really intimidating to see 3D objects, but trust me, once you got it, you got it. And I'm going to take this design here. Actually, let me take this design because it's already outlined. And I'm going to take this one off. All right, so I'm taking this design, Command and C, and literally what you have to do is Command and V. Can you imagine? Command and V, that's it. And then your design is placed on that thing, and then you can go in and adjust the size and everything here and make it turn it around a little bit and kind of place it into the design. Let's see. Now, of course, it doesn't have the exact same size, so I'm kind of struggling with this a little bit. But it's usually a really cool way to kind of show a design. And now let me see. So it kind of looks like it's printed, but I think this 3D object is just not that great right now. But let's rotate our lights a little bit. And we can also create a really cool preview. So here, if I go into window, I can go and show and hide render preview, and that will give me a more realistic, you know, view of how my rendering will look like. And as you can see, at first it's pretty grainy, but the more the computer processes it and the less you move, the more you can see the actual preview. So I love using that. Let me place the other designs here as well. And here you work with 1, 2, and 3 on your keyboard. So 1 will be allowing you to orbit around, 2 will allow you to move around the canvas, and well, actually just the surface that your objects are located on. And I hear my machine is already flying away. It's already taking off. And 3 is you are adjusting the zoom into the image. All right, let's place the other places into that, and let's see. So I'm going to take this. For the sake of time, or for the sake of effort, I'm going to outline this so that we don't have no trouble with the typeface there. Command and C, again, going back to Dimension. And to be able to select the object, you have to go into the select tool, or you click V. It's a general shortcut for selection tool. And then we're gonna click Command and V and place our other design on top of the other little board thing. And by the way, you can put different objects into here. They just have to be in an object file. So if you know how to 3D model, you can model your own objects and then put them here into Dimension. And you know, just play around with those. All right, this is not very precise, but it gives me a pretty cool idea, you know, of how my design could look like when it's printed. All right, let me make this a little bit wider. And yeah, my computer is already struggling. Yeah, no, but this is a really cool way to kind of, you know, also to see for yourself how that could look like in real world. Now let me select this one and place the last design. Of course, it's not perfect. You know, it's not perfect in this case because that 3D object is not actually meant for that. But Command V. Oh, okay, we can also place images as a background if you want to do that. Command V. Oh, this is the wrong one. I wanted to do the pink one. Command and C. And Command and V. There we go. Again, increase the size. And to proportionally increase the size, you hold Shift while resizing. And now I want to kind of turn it around and place it in the right place. Okay. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. So now I have a little cool kind of preview of my labels. Now let's take a look what else we can do with the wine bottle. So if we actually find the wine bottle on stock, let's take a look. So we have wine bottles here. Let me just, oh, actually I have this one already. So let me just re-download this one. And let's see where it's going to land. And you can do a lot of really cool stuff with this. And there are not only packaging objects, there are so many different objects. And there are also free objects that you can access. So if you go into the free section, you can look for 3D here. And let's see if there is a free bottle. Yeah, there are beer cans, anything, literally. You can create makeup here. As you can see, I was creating like a tincture bottle here. There's so many things. And this is all, wait, let's see. Let's look for free. So there is a lot of stuff that you can get. Let's see. So there are also really cool mockups that you can get. And here we can get into 3D to filter it out better. I'm sure there's something. Okay, so this is all free stuff, guys. These are all free. You can license them, and wherever it says free at the bottom, you can just access it and download it. Cool. Now let's grab a bottle. Let's see if I can access the one that I just downloaded. Wine bottle. Okay, so I have an object file here. It's literally an object file, and all I have to do is just place it into my file. And then it will load for a second, and then I have my bottle here. Cool, right? Let's make the bottle a little bit larger. Holding Shift, I'm making it a little bit bigger to kind of match the size of the labels that are laying out on in the background here. So yeah, now let's place the design on the bottle. Again, what I have to do is I have to double click into this, and then we have the wine bottle label. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I guess, Command and V. I think I should still have it in my clipping board. Yeah, and now I can access again the design. And I'm going to resize a little bit. And as you can see, my design does not 100% fit into this, but let's see. But this is still a pretty good preview of how my design will look like on a bottle, right? Let's see. And now we can kind of arrange the scene a little bit. And we can also create a little surface underneath, like a plane. And this plane we can also treat as an object. Okay, I want to resize it in all directions. And then you can even take a brand color and put it on the surface, so you can recolor the surface as well. I'm going to go and grab maybe, let's say that pink here. you can double click into the color, Command and C, copy the color, which copies the color code actually. And now I can go into this, and having the surface selected, here you can adjust the color. So base color is going to be, I can paste my hex code here, Command and V. Again, Command and C and Command and V are, you know, my basics. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a copy of this. So wait. Okay. So I've created a copy, and I'm going to put it kind of, this is really difficult to understand right now, but I'm going to create kind of like a scenery for my product. Right? So I can push that a little bit to the side and turn it a little bit so it kind of reflects the light a little bit better. Okay, I'm starting to talk really quietly. Now let's zoom into this a little bit, like that. And now let me recolor the backside to a different brand color. Let's say I'm going to pick that orange. Again, I'm Command and C, I'm copying the color, going back to Dimension, selecting my plane, going into the color settings, base color, Command and V, Command and V, and click enter. And now our background is that. All right. So I'm going to turn this a little bit, and I'm going to zoom out, adjust the setting a little bit. This is not a lot of work, but it's a good kind of way to visualize what you're actually working on, you know. And I'm going to extend the size of this just a little bit so it kind of reaches beyond my image. And I think I created a copy. Okay, and I'm going to extend the size of this one as well. All right, so now we have kind of like a scenery put together. Really cool, right? Isn't that cool? And now we can play with the environment light, and we can place the light the way we want it. This is nice. This is cool. And we have our labels here at the bottom, on the floor, on the bottom. Okay. Yeah. And then just find a good position. You can also add some cool objects into this. Maybe, I don't know, a cool cylinder or something like that. Kind of create yourself a scene with that. Maybe the bottle can stand on a cylinder. Just do whatever you want. Just do it, just do it. Okay, or we can, I think there was a really cool arch also. Anyway, so let's render this. I'm going to render. And right now I'm going into low quality PNG. And if you export it, if you render it as a PSD, you'll be able to adjust the backgrounds and everything. So I'm going to click render, and let's see how long it takes. My computer is actually pretty strong, but running multiple programs sometimes can be really daunting on the computer. So let's take a look at the chat. Michael is saying, keep going. Hakim is saying, oh my god, that's magic. Yay. Who distributes Dimension? Dimension is an Adobe product. So if you have the Creative Cloud subscription, you can get yourself Dimension. And it's almost rendered. And you know, in this way, you can also create yourself mockups for your portfolio of your designs. The bottle looks pretty realistic, I would say. Of course, there are some masters of you know, rendering and fine-tuning things, but this is already a pretty good visualization of our design. Okay, hi Fergie, good to see you here. Sorry, I'm not reading all the comments. I've been working so much. Okay, well, Fergie, I caught Julia today as well. Yay, so cool to have y'all here. The color arrangement looks awesome. Yay. Add some RAM. Yeah, I know. I already have 127 gigabytes RAM. So I am pretty good there. The only thing is that you need to create good renderings is the graphics card. The graphics card is everything. All right, my friends. So our rendering is done in a minute. Took only a minute to render it. This is how good my machine is. But now I can already hear, you know, the machine making sounds. It goes like... All right, so let's take a look at our image that we got out of this. And yes, I got it right here. And we have our image here. Nice! It's very pixelated because it's at 72 points per inch. And you can definitely set the quality better. But this is what we got. We created a whole branding with 3 SKUs, a mock-up, a lot of cool stuff. And let's sum it all up real quick. So we have our color palettes. We have our primary color palette being this light gray, the logo being this gold-plated color. Then we have black. We could also add those here into our color palette if we wanted to kind of show it. It's very easy. It's very easy, my friends. It's not that hard. Okay, so this is our primary color palette. Our primary color palette, and this is our secondary color palette. And this color palette can be extended if we get more products in. Then we have our outlines of our different countries. Then we have our 3 labels. Then we have our little mark that we have downloaded. Actually have not created much, but you can also create it yourself if you have time. You know, I have worked with a lot of stock today. I don't know if you realize that or not, but this outline all comes from stock. This stamp here comes from stock. And, you know, it makes it so much faster. I really love doing that. If it's not something very specific, like where the client kind of expects me to create it myself, why not? Why not save time? Right? So we have these beautiful color combinations. We have our beautiful typefaces. And, yeah. And we have our print ready to go, ready to send to the printer. And yeah. So my friends, hopefully this was helpful to you. If you want to connect with me, go and hang out with me on my Instagram at Julia Maselska. And I'm wishing you all a great weekend. Hopefully you're going to get some stuff done. Feel free to rewatch this. Feel free to rewatch past sessions. They're also awesome. And I'm wishing you all a good weekend and a nice Friday. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.